Hey everyone, welcome. Today we're doing something a little different, a fun knowledge challenge. I've got 10 questions lined up covering all sorts of cool topics to really put your brain to the test. You think you're ready? Let's see how you do.
So, are you ready to jump in? We're going to be covering everything from ancient history and modern tech to human biology and even the cosmos. Let's get started. All right, first up, we're kicking things off with round one. And this one is all about India, facts and figures. It's a country with such an incredible mix of history, politics, and tech. So your first question is coming right up. Okay, we're starting with a big one from ancient history. So, who's been called the Napoleon of India? Is it A, Samudragupta, B, Chandragupta, C, Kumargupta, or D, Harshavardhana? Quick hint for you, he was a ruler from the Gupta dynasty and just an absolute military genius. Go ahead, lock in your answer. And the answer is A, Samudragupta. Yep, his military campaigns were so massive and so successful all across the Indian subcontinent that historians just had to compare him to the French emperor. So, did you get that one right? All right, let's jump from ancient rulers to incredible architecture. This one is probably one of the most famous buildings on the entire planet. So, who built the world-famous Taj Mahal? Was it A, Shah Jahan, B, Sher Shah, C, Nadir Shah, or D, Jahangir? I have a feeling this one might be a little more familiar to a lot of you. And the answer is, of course, A, Shah Jahan. But what's so amazing about this story is that it wasn't even a palace for himself. It was this absolutely massive, beautiful mausoleum he built for his favorite wife, Mumtaz Mahal. I mean, talk about an epic monument to love, right? Okay, let's fast forward a few hundred years. We're going from ancient wonders straight into the modern tech boom. So, which city out there is known as the Silicon Valley of India? Is it Mumbai, Delhi, Hyderabad, or Bangalore?
It is D, Bengaluru. It's an absolute powerhouse. I mean, it's home to countless tech giants and cool, innovative startups. It really is the engine of India's whole digital economy.
Speaking of cities, let's stick with a bit of history. Do you know which year Delhi actually became India's capital? Here are your options: 1911, 1912, 1910, or 1905. And remember, the capital wasn't always Delhi, so you gotta think carefully on this one. The correct answer is A, 1911. Yep, that was the year King George V made the big announcement that the capital of British India was moving from Calcutta all the way to Delhi.
Okay, last question for this round, and this time we're diving into a bit of civics. The Lok Sabha, that's the lower house of India's parliament. So how is its speaker elected? Is it by all the members of the Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha together, by the people of India directly, or just by all the members of the Lok Sabha?
And the answer is D. It's done by all the members of the Lok Sabha. So the key takeaway here is that it's an internal thing. The members themselves get to choose their own presiding officer from their own ranks. So how did you do in round one? Hopefully you're all warmed up.
All right, time for round two. We are totally shifting gears now, leaving history and geography behind and jumping headfirst into the world of science. So you might want to get your lab coats ready for this one.
Okay, let's start with a little kitchen chemistry, something you probably have at home right now. What's the common name for sodium bicarbonate? Your options are, sodium bicarbonate, calcium bicarbonate, carbon monoxide, or bromide. I guarantee you've seen this stuff in your pantry. If you guessed A, sodium bicarbonate, you got it. That's the fancy chemical name for that humble white powder we all know and love as baking soda. You know, the stuff that makes all your cakes and cookies so fluffy. And this is actually a great way to clear up something that confuses a lot of people. You have to look really closely. You've got washing soda, which is sodium carbonate, and then you have baking soda, which is sodium bicarbonate. That tiny little bi prefix, that is literally the difference between doing a load of laundry and baking a delicious cookie. You definitely don't want to mix those two up. Okay, from chemistry, let's turn to biology. Let's look inside our own bodies. What is the approximate ratio of red blood cells, your RBCs, to white blood cells, your WBCs? Is it 1 to 600, 600 to 1, 1 to 900, or maybe 500 to 1? Just think about it. White blood cells are like the soldiers of your immune system, but are they outnumbered by the cells carrying all the oxygen? Just look at that number. The answer is a staggering 600 to 1. Seriously, think about that.
For every single white blood cell you have on patrol fighting off germs, there are about 600 red blood cells just constantly working, carrying oxygen to every part of your body. It's an absolutely incredible biological workforce.
Okay, this next one's a little grim, I'll admit, but it's a really important medical fact. Which of these diseases is caused by the bite of a mad dog? Is it leukoderma, hydrophobia, hypertension, or arthritis? You know, when a rabid animal bites someone, it transmits a virus, and that virus leads to a very specific and pretty terrifying symptom.
And the answer is B, hydrophobia. And here's why it gets that name. The rabies virus, it attacks the nervous system, and it causes these incredibly painful spasms in your throat when you try to swallow anything. So naturally, this leads to this awful aversion to drinking, literally a fear of water. That's where the name comes from.
Okay, you've made it. It's time for the final round. And for our last question, we're going to leave Earth behind entirely. We're going big. We're heading out into the solar system for a cosmic question. We've covered history. We've done biology. Now, let's look up to the stars. So, which planet out there is known as Earth's twin? Is it the massive gas giant Jupiter? The famous red planet Mars? The one with the beautiful rings, Saturn? Or the mysterious shrouded planet Venus? And for the final answer, it is Venus. It's kind of wild because despite having this totally toxic atmosphere and a crazy runaway greenhouse effect, Venus is actually remarkably similar to Earth when you look at its size, its mass, and what it's made of. So yeah, you could call it a twin. Maybe an evil twin, but a twin nonetheless. And just like that, we're done. That's a wrap on our little knowledge challenge. Hey, whether you aced every single question or just learned something new today, the real goal is just to stay curious, right? I love this quote from Einstein. The important thing is not to stop questioning. It's so true. The act of just asking questions is what really matters. So I want to leave you with one last question, just for you to think about. What was the most surprising thing you learned today? Was it that insane 600-to-1 ratio of blood cells? Or maybe the year Delhi became the capital? Or maybe it was just that tiny little difference between washing soda and baking soda? Whatever it was, think about what stood out to you and just never stop learning. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer.